Alright, so in this next video we're going to talk about another extension that we can load into Meterpreter called Sniffer. And Sniffer is basically going to sniff the traffic of the network, and we can save this traffic to a packet capture file, and then we can open it up and analyze it in Wireshark. So a few examples of why this would be useful would be for trying to look for like plain text passwords. So for example, if the user is browsing websites, first of all, we would be able to see that because that's usually not encrypted. We would be able to see what kind of websites they're going to. Even like Google search results, when they type something into Google and they search for that, that's another example. Things that are just in a regular HTTP session, since we're talking about the internet. Now if it's HTTPS, then we would not be able to see that in plain text. But because there are still regular sites that are not always HTTPS, we would still be able to pick up some of the traffic, and that's just one example of what we can use it for. Another example would be to gather further recon. We can see other machines talking to each other. We can see the router making certain requests. Just different things like that, and it can kind of give us a better idea of the activity that's going on that network. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. I'm going to tell you right now that because we are on a host-only adapter using VMware, there's really not going to be a lot of traffic, and so this would work better on a live, like a real network, that we're not a bunch of virtual machines. Like say we were connected to the internet and everything, and these VMs are not connected to the internet. So we will still be able to do this, but it's just not going to have all of the results that we could get. So we can do a load. We can also do a -L that will show us, of course, everything that we can load. And so here is the sniffer. So I'm going to do a load sniffer. And now I can do the question mark, and here are our sniffer commands. So the first thing that we need to figure out is the interface. The interface could be like your Ethernet port, it could be a wireless interface. Basically, how are you connected to the network? Being that we are on a host-only adapter in VMware, it's going to probably be some kind of VM adapter. So I'm going to type in sniffer _interfaces, and we can see that I actually have my regular Ethernet adapter, but I also have the VMware. One thing to notice that this one says true for usable, and this one says usable false. So let's go ahead and use the second adapter. At least in my situation, I'm going to use the second. Yours may be different. We're going to do a sniffer _start, and then we need to supply the adapter number, which I'm going to use number 2. Capture started on interface 2. And we can try and do some other things to generate traffic. I was trying to ping things earlier, just as an example. Just by you pinging something, let's say we ping back our victim or our attacker machine 101. Obviously that's going to generate activity on the network. And what Kali is doing is all of this is going in real time. It's actually storing this information. It's not saving it yet, but it's storing it in memory. So I can do a sniffer _stats, and then the interface, which is number 2, and it tells us that there's been 8 packets and how many bytes. I can do that again. Still only 8 packets. Let's see, I can do some more pings over here, see if that generates any more activity. And now it's 16 packets. So we're definitely on the right interface. Now to save this, what we want to do is I'm going to do a sniffer dump, and we need to specify the location that we want to save this in. So I'm going to just do root, and then we can do like a sniffer.pcap, because we need to save it as a pcap so that we can load it in Wireshark. Oh, I need to dump the ID number. which was our interface was number 2. There we go. PCAP file written to root sniffer PCAP. So cool. So now what we can do is I'm going to minimize this. Let's go ahead and find Wireshark. Let's see. Mine's in the top 10 security tools, but it should be somewhere in here. Information gathering. It's not in there. You kind of have to just look for it, but mine's right here. I believe you can also open up a terminal and just type in Wireshark. That should load up Wireshark, which it does. Just ignore the error. That's normal. And so now we can load it. So I can go to File and we can open. Now I can go to my root folder and my file, sniffer.pcap, and let's go ahead and open that up and check that out. There's all the ICMP. Those are the pings that I was doing. And that's really all we have on there. We didn't generate really any other traffic. But obviously if this was a live system where it was actually connected to the internet, there was actual machines communicating with each other, a large network, we would see a lot of traffic. And I could kind of give you a better example, but as far as operating and how to do it, this is exactly how you would do that. So anyways, if you have any other questions with this, just send me a message and I'll see you guys in the next video.